Hi, everyone. Welcome to another supportive information session brought to you by Addiction Services of Thames Valley. I'll be your host today, and my name is Barry Wong. So if you're looking to connect with us at Addiction Services, if you live in either Elgin County, Oxford County, Middlesex County, and London, we're here for you. We're offering in-person services by appointment. You can always visit our website for more information at adstv.ca. As well, don't hesitate to give us a call, 519-673-3242. Again, if you need any information, it's right on the screen. Now, before we get into the main topic, we'll be doing a grounding exercise. The purpose is to help calm our mind and relax the body. The goal is to open and improve our inner awareness and support making positive mental or physical changes. So just sit back, relax wherever you are, and let's begin. Ready? So put your feet on the floor. Notice the feeling of your feet on the floor. Push your feet into the floor and feel the leg muscles working. Now relax and sit back in your chair. Notice your body on the chair, the feeling of gravity. Notice the feeling of your feet on the floor. Notice the position of your arms and legs. Be aware of your breathing. Be aware of the feeling of the air going in and out of your nose or mouth. Just notice your body. Now zoom out and listen to the sounds around you. Try to identify 3 different sounds. And come back to your body in the chair and notice the feeling of gravity. Notice the temperature of the air. What do you smell? What do you taste? Relax. Now open your eyes and look forward and notice your surroundings. Name 3 objects you see. Describe them in your mind. Let them go and come back into your body and your chair. Notice the feeling of gravity. You are here now. Now focus back at the task at hand and move gently to awaken the body. Now, how was that, everyone? Just kidding. This is a recording. I can't get your response anyway, but I do hope you enjoyed it. So again, my name is Barry, and today we'll be talking about coping with the holidays. I am one of the addiction and mental health counselors at Addiction Services of Thames Valley. Now, for people in recovery from drug or alcohol, or even if you're looking to process the addiction, it can be an especially trying time to stay healthy and sober. And this topic is to really help you learn some maybe coping strategies, some tips and tricks of navigating throughout the holiday season or whatever holiday you may celebrate. Now, really, stay focused on your own recovery. Perhaps plan special activities for yourself or with others to reward yourself, just as a reward for sticking to your goals for a healthier lifestyle. You know, it's important to know what you can handle, set limits, realize what your triggers may be, what high situations may lead to a lapse or relapse. And of course, if you're having cravings or urges, tell someone that you trust. Don't ignore the feeling that you may be going through. And it's important to have that supportive person in your life that won't criticize, won't invalidate what you may be feeling or going through. And of course, as a coping skill, you could always close your eyes and visualize the person you want to be. Perhaps that person is at peace. Perhaps that person is respected by yourself and others. And of course, it's always important to be mindful of the people, places, and things. Hey, perhaps you're entertaining at home, right? You know, it's important to discuss those you live with, to talk about alcohol and drugs in the home. It's an important thing to talk about. And, you know, let's say if you do choose to have alcohol in the home, really make sure to only have it present for that special event. Because, you know, of course, if you know that it may be a high-risk situation to have more alcohol or other drugs present in the home, if that puts you at risk at the end of the day, you know, if your sobriety and your health is most important, you know, just be mindful of that. As well as choose and plan ahead of specific times when you would serve alcohol and, you know, maybe serve other beverages. This will help to be less impulsive, right? So if you know that a certain beverage or a certain thing is happening at a specific time, you can properly prepare for that. And again, if you're a secret, or if you are or were a secret drinker, ensure that you're not home alone to have alcohol in the home. It's about being honest about ourselves, and for those who are looking at supporting those in recovery, also make sure that there's no alcohol in the home for that individual. Now, there's always that office party. Again, I know with COVID and stuff like that, it may be a little bit more difficult, and I do recognize that perhaps some of us are feeling a little bit more isolated than others. But for those who are having an office party, just realize there's no pressure to have any alcohol at your business function. As soon as you arrive, consider asking for a cup of tea or even a cup of coffee as soon as you arrive. And of course, it's okay to have excuses to keep you safe. Suggestion is things like, hey, I'm driving, I can't drink today. Perhaps are you traveling or staying overnight? It's important to evaluate if an extended stay is really supporting your recovery, or if you need to time limit the visit. Consider, are you able to get back in time? Is it safe to hop back onto the roads to make that trip home? Of course, with technology and with most having smartphones or access to Wi-Fi, consider using AA or NA meetings in the community. All those resources are readily available online, and a quick Google search may be beneficial to you. As well as have an exit plan, right? Have a way to leave, whether it's through a car, cab, Uber, bus fare, or train. And again, during these COVID times, make sure that whatever method of transportation you're using, you're staying safe. As well as perhaps keep a daily recovery plan that involves short-term and long-term goals. Perhaps meditations may be beneficial for you, journal writing, exercising of any kind. Of course, there are those parties and social gatherings at any major holiday. It's important to be aware of your state of emotions before you attend. Perhaps if you're going in feeling pretty low, perhaps, thinking that there will be certain substances, whether it's a drink or a drug, it may lead to a lapse or relapse, as well as on the other spectrum, right? If you're feeling very excited, and then that may lead to impulsive decision that may lead to negative consequences. Also consider telling the host or the hostess ahead of time that you won't be drinking or using that night. That could perhaps save you some trouble. Of course, bring your own beverages to these holiday parties. This will allow you to have more control over what you drink and not really fall victim to maybe other people attempting to peer pressure you or to even spike certain things in your drink as a joke. It's unfortunate that there are many people out there who don't really take recovery that seriously or know how important it is to some individuals. So for them, maybe it's no big deal. And for some, it's a matter of life and death. Attend with a supportive person if possible. If there's someone to help you stay accountable, that can really make all the difference. And don't hesitate to plan ahead for as long as how long you will stay. Maybe it's going in early. Maybe it's checking out early. Especially for those who are in recovery or in early recovery, or maybe struggling with substances, most of the alcohol use or drug use, is pretty common as the night goes on. So maybe just be mindful of that, and really don't worry about if you're going to hurt the host's feelings. At the end of the day, your sobriety is the most important. Have that exit strategy, right? If you're feeling uncomfortable, whether if you're looking just to stay for 10 minutes or 3 hours. If a situation arises where a family gathering or a friend gathering takes place and you're starting to feel pressure to drink or use, or maybe in a situation where you might even feel tempted, have that plan in place ready just in case of that. When someone in recovery feels uncomfortable or they feel the need to use again, it's taking that action really that is the most important part. And remember that, you're in control of your own sobriety, and other people might not be aware of that. So it's important to realize that, again, you are responsible for your sobriety, and not necessarily, it's not really the family's responsibility to ensure that. So here are some tips of managing emotions and navigating certain tricky family dynamics. So supporting people in recovery. So, avoid maybe giving alcohol or lottery tickets as gifts. really, we don't know who's in recovery, and that temptation may lead to some negative consequences. And respect a person's choice to say no to one more, right? The peer pressure, again, could lead to temptations, and again, may lead to negative consequences. So it's just a matter of letting go if they say no. That's perfectly normal. And it's important to take responsibility of your past behavior. So it could be that at that certain family event, there's that family member who may have been hurt or resentful about how you behaved in the past, and they just so choose to air out their grievances in front of everybody. At the end of the day, no one knows better than you do when it comes to the shame and guilt that comes with that kind of conversation. So maybe as a tip, briefly remind that person that yes, you are very sorry for what happened in the past, and you're in recovery now. And this is an important opportunity to perhaps not be in denial. And if anything, perhaps change that subject to something else, like asking other people to share something new or good from their lives. And this will help you stay calm and focused through this time. And thirdly, watch out for those underminers, right? There are some others, or there are some people in families or friends where maybe they don't see your abstinence, or maybe they see your abstinence as a negative comment on themselves, and they may feel uncomfortable with that. As such, they may try to get you to join them in drinking, or maybe in a certain behavior that you no longer want to be associated with. So often people might say, come on, it's the holiday, just one. They don't get it. They don't want to, they might not want to stop. They might want to continue. And if that means that, that maybe they can, and yeah, maybe just because they're able to, it doesn't mean that they should be able to force those values on you. And again, perhaps those people are not ready to try at sobriety or recovery. And of course, be the biggest advocate for yourself. Ultimately, you have the right to sit out on a family gathering if it's too difficult, right? Or if it's too challenging. This is especially true if you're early on in recovery. Your emotional health and recovery are more valuable than any party that you could attend. And I know that this could be tricky. Even, recognizing that family systems with a fair amount of denial could be challenging, as well as, families are really good at sometimes guilt tripping people or being manipulative into doing certain things. So it's important just to set your boundaries and be assertive. Finally, look out for those who offer positive connections and kindness to you. Maybe around kindness and positive reactions about your recovery, more specifically during this holiday season. You may notice that even for small moments, that you will feel validated and supported by someone maybe you weren't expecting to at all. So just as families can cause drama and tension, they also have the capacity to shine through and be supportive and let you know how valuable you are. So drinking and driving. So there are certain rules to remember. If you're going to be drinking, really don't take a vehicle, or don't operate a vehicle. It's also important to not base your decision to drive on how you're feeling after you've been drinking. It does impact our decision-making abilities. The effects of alcohol will wear off long before your blood alcohol concentration returns to zero. And the key thing is to remember that the breathalyzer only measures your blood alcohol concentration, not whether you feel impaired or not. So practice self-care. Take some time for yourself. Eat well, exercise, get enough sleep, connect with a sponsor, or maybe get some support from your counselor. Really, it's important to remember to celebrate the holiday season to the fullness of your sober life by taking time for yourself. So again, maybe some proper nutrition, some great exercise, some sleep can really do wonders for your well-being. And, of course, the better you feel physically, the stronger you will feel emotionally. And, you want to nourish your spirit too, whether that's through personal reflection and connection with those you love. Find some quiet time perhaps, and relax and meditate only for a few minutes if you really have the time, no matter how busy you are. So again, my name is Barry, and I wish you a wonderful holiday, no matter what holiday you may celebrate. Thank you, and stay safe.